SHMACKEMAGOB, my friends. I'm gonna make a video now of, I have a little music blaring in the background on my computer. Excuse that. It's not intended to be on here, but I ain't getting up. I want to talk about Cheech and Chong. Before I got into music, I was all about movies. That's all. I wasn't infected by, I told this story before. It wasn't until I saw the movie Heroes and I heard Carry On My Wayward Son where I started to, get little into rock. I bought ELO and Kansas and Styx, but it wasn't until Kiss Double Platinum that opened the floodgates for me to investigate hard rock bands. The ultimate gateway band for me was Kiss in 1978, or whenever Double Platinum came out. And but before all that happened, I was all about movies and Cheech and Chong albums. And also, I had a George Carlin album, Red Fox, Richard Pryor. I loved comedy albums. And I would hear, that's probably how I got my vocabulary. I owed all of them. Thank you. But anyway, fucking A, fuck, fuckity, fuck. So, I owned all these Cheech and Chong albums as a kid, and just so, this whole thing, I listened to all these albums with a lot of drug use and smoking pot, and never once did this influence me to smoke weed. I mean, I didn't smoke weed till way after Cheech and Chong albums, and when it wasn't until like maybe 5-6 years later. And lucky for me, I had Cuban parents that weren't really aware of the shit I was listening to. They'd hear Cheech and Chong in the background and have no idea, But this is the first album. Now, I'm going to hold up all the albums, not in order, when they came out. Now, I stopped buying Cheech and Chong albums. Like, I didn't get the album, Get Out of My Room, and whatever was after that. If there was, because I just lost track. But the first Cheech and Chong album, Blind Melon Chitlin', that shit's hilarious. Trippin' in Court. I mean, you all Cheech and Chong fans, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, probably the most famous skit, Dave's Not Here. But the first one's great, Cruising with Pedro. Good stuff, man. Great comedy. Now, like I said, none of this shit influenced me to smoke weed, so PMRC these nuts. And then there's this one. Like I know what a lot of you are saying out there that own this album. You're saying mine still has the paper. So does mine. Big ass rolling paper. Kind of thick though. But another one, Sister Mary Elephant, and just a lot of great stuff. And of course, Los Cochinos. This one, probably my least favorite, Sleeping Beauty, but it does have Framed on it. I love that song. Of course, the soundtrack to Up in Smoke, my second favorite comedy movie of all time. My first would be The Blues Brothers. Here's where they lost me. And I purchased this way after I was into Cheech and Chong. I didn't think this was that good. I got to listen to it again. But I remember finding it, for like $1? For $1, and I just bought it, And now as I look over these tracks, I don't even remember none of this. Queer Wars, I think that was a spoof on Star Wars. And this one, the Wedding album. Now, it dawned on me not too long ago that the song on here, Earache My Eye, you all know that song. It dawned on me, even before I got into music, I loved that song, so it was technically the first hard rock song I ever liked. And of course, the movie, I loved the next movie. Nice Dreams was good, but kind of downgrade, and Things Are Tough All Over was kind of bad. And I remember, what was it, Conquistador Brothers, and I know there was another one after that. It just, but I did get to see them live about maybe 10 years ago. They reunited. They played here at the Fillmore. And that was awesome, seeing them recreate their skits. But I just wanted to make a video talking about the Cheech and Chong discography of what I have. I know that Get Out of My Room. Did that one have Born in East LA? And I saw that movie too, and I wasn't too crazy about it. But Cheech and Chong are great, man. And I was listening to Los Cochinos earlier, because I don't really go back and revisit these albums that much, but when I do, it's just a pure nostalgia trip. And listening to Los Cochinos, I was like, man, I should talk about Cheech and Chong on my channel, man, because they were fucking very important to my youth. Extremely important. And they're just hilarious. And all you Cheech and Chong fans, you know what I'm talking about, man. My favorite skit would probably be at the drive-in, where they had the two guys in the trunk. That would be my favorite skit. All you Cheech and Chong fans, write down in your comments below, what's your favorite skit? A lot of you would probably say Dave's not here, and I wouldn't blame you. That's a funny skit. And Rooter, that's the name, just flush the troubles down the drain. Rotten Peter. And another thing is that a lot of these songs, a lot of these skits, I didn't get as a kid, but I still laughed. Oh, and something very funny. What album was it on? Was it on the Men? Yeah, I believe it's the Wedding album. There's a skit called Hey Margaret. Now, Hey Margaret, I'm going to bring this up on something else I'm doing soon. I'm going to talk about Leonard Skinner. My friend, where I was raised, it was all rednecks. And my friend owned this. And, they're, rednecks with the rebel flag and everything. And, man, those rednecks I was raised with were the most non-racist people I've ever met. Because when we played this, and Hey Margaret, it's a guy that takes his wife to a porno theater, and then he ends up saying the N-word, and my friend's dad, the redneck, he heard that and he said, turn that shit off. I don't allow that language here in this house. That's just a little side tidbit I wanted to say that, the whole, redneck, rebel flag, all racist. I didn't experience that when I was a kid, and I was a Cuban. I was the only Cuban on the block, and they invited me in. They always invited me to, to dinner, and my parents worked a lot, and they were kind of like my second parents. They took care of me. Just great people, man. And this is some great shit. Cheech and Chong fucking rules, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to bring up that this was a very important part of my childhood before I got into rock music and become, the rock nut I am. Love me some Cheech and Chong. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Thank you for watching, and SHMACKEMAGOB. Hey, check out my podcast, The VIERA Vault, on Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. Subscribe. The links are below.
Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Noggle, and sometimes this guy.
SHMACKEMAGOB!
Ralph Vieira is also on our network with the VIERA Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido. Ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast. And the Great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.